Have you ever wondered how a fractional CMO can skyrocket your small business growth? I'm going to show you now. By the end of this video, you're going to know exactly how a fractional CMO drives growth, but more importantly, what you need to do inside of your business to make sure you get the most bang for your buck. Most businesses are only using a fraction of the power that's currently in their marketing strategy. They just can't see it. And that's where a fractional CMO can come in and unlock all of your potential. Here's why most small businesses struggle to grow. We know, it's not a secret, that the more eyeballs you can get on your business, the more likely you are to succeed. But most people don't look at marketing as a necessity. They look at it as a luxury. And that's where they've got everything completely backwards. And I get it. I've built and sold 5 different businesses. I had to start in the same place as everybody else. When you don't have any money, you gotta hustle. You're hustling customers, you're hustling referrals, you're doing everything you can to just get some money into the business so that maybe at some point you can pay yourself. And then when you're lucky enough to actually start paying yourself, then you gotta start hiring staff and you gotta do these other things. And all of a sudden you go from making money to making less money in order to be able to grow to the next level where hopefully you can actually make money again. It's a vicious cycle in the beginning, and I get it. But there's one thing that is a truth no matter what anybody tells you, and that's marketing is oxygen. If nobody can see your business, you're not going to sell anything. So it is the most important part of the equation. So now that you know you need marketing, then your question naturally is, so what should I do? And that's where so many people struggle because marketing encompasses so many things. Should you be on Google? Should you be on the radio? Should you be on television? Should you be putting flyers around your neighborhood on everybody's cars? No, don't do that. People don't like that. Should you be on TikTok dancing and making cat videos? There's a million different things that can be done, but depending on where your business is at from a financial standpoint, what you sell, who are the people that are your avatar or your ideal client profile, there are very specific things that work better than others. But the only way to know that is to actually have experience in your industry, which means it has to have been done before by somebody else. That's where a fractional CMO comes in, is they have enough experience to say, I know your industry, I know what works, I know where we need to start first, I know what's gonna move the needle the fastest, and if you do these things, this will be your shortest time frame to increased revenue, and that's what makes them truly valuable. So that means we have to focus on prioritization. What's really, really difficult when you're a small business is you're constantly researching online. What can solve my problem? How can I get results? How can I get customers? And the reality is that marketers are really good at marketing, which means they're really good at telling you a story and taking a knife and twisting it into your side and making you feel pain and making you feel dumb and making you feel like their magic widget is the only solution that's going to solve your problem. And that's the challenge that most small businesses face, is they're inundated with all these people telling them that they should do their thing and buy their stuff and watch their YouTube videos and so on and so forth, right? We have to prioritize what's going to give us the biggest impact the fastest. And in order to be able to do that, like I said, we have to have somebody who can look from the outside through a clean lens and block out the noise and actually say, this is what's going to move the needle fastest for your business. For example, I have a client that is in the consumer goods. It's actually a protein popcorn company, super cool company. And they came to me and they said, we've done 0 marketing. We're in 12 different countries. We're in 1,000 different gas stations and convenience stores. And I said to them, well, then in fact, you have done marketing because you can't get into stores without doing some type of marketing. And they said, well, we did. We sent out all these sample packs to all these owners. I said, that's a form of marketing. And clearly that's worked for you so far and you should continue doing that. And they said, well, what can we do beyond that? And I said, well, the reality is that the majority of people who buy snack foods are females. The moms do the shopping. I don't know about you, but I'm not even allowed to go grocery shopping in my house. My wife tells me I buy ridiculous stuff that she doesn't even want me to buy. She goes and buys all the groceries for our family and our kids. So we need to get in front of as many females as possible because they're going to be the core driver of that brand. Where do the majority of the females hang out online? Well, the ones that have the money, for example, are on Facebook and Instagram. Well, why are they on Facebook and Instagram? Why aren't they maybe on TikTok, for example? Well, TikTok has the youngest group of users, Instagram has the middle-aged group of users, and Facebook has the oldest group of users because they were launched at different times. Well, we want to go to places where the moms are at, and that's Instagram and Facebook. TikTok may be in 4 or 5 years. So let's go create a campaign. Let's put together a Shopify store, and let's create a whole bunch of ads about females feeling good about giving their kids a healthier alternative than junk food by having this protein popcorn. Well, we put it all together, and lo and behold, within 2 months, they were doing 1,000 orders more per month just from that one specific strategy. So yeah, did it work? Absolutely. But what do we do next? And then you go to the next thing, and you go to the next thing, and you go to the next thing. So it's all about having the knowledge to prioritize where the fastest revenue is going to come from. Now, part of prioritization is if you already have lots of things going, it's fixing the flow. So if you have multiple campaigns going on, a good CMO is going to have historical KPIs, and that gives them a map to know what they should be, what those conversions should be happening at. I have KPI models for every single channel, for every single type of industry. So when I come in and I look at a business and I look at their campaigns, I say, well, this is what's happening here, that's too low. This is what's happening here, that's good. This is what's happening here, that's also too low. And then I know exactly what we need to do to get those KPIs into alignment in order for it to be profitable enough to scale. So part of your prioritization is you have to look at everything and have the experience to be able to say, this is where we're doing well, let's scale this. This is where we're putting some money and it's not quite where it needs to be, but I know exactly what we have to fix in order to be able to unlock that so that you can maximize what you currently have before you start to bring in new distracting initiatives. The ultimate goal is to build a real, keyword, predictable growth system. The number one thing that keeps entrepreneurs up at night is a lack of predictability. If you know on the first of the month, this is the amount of revenue that's going to come in, then you can plan accordingly, you can grow accordingly, you don't lose any sleep. It's a good thing. When it's not predictable, that's a very scary place to be in. What you want to do is build that predictable growth machine. Well, how that happens is a diversification across multiple media sources, a diversification across multiple products, a diversification maybe between one-time purchases and recurring revenue purchases. It's building that machine that effectively becomes infallible so that you know no matter what happens, those are going to keep coming in and day out. If you want to see how this works in a real business, I've actually put together another video for you. It's the 5 things that you have to know before you hire a fractional CMO. And it's super easy to get access to. Just go ahead and click the link below.